Well, hello everybody. So, come on in. Kitchen's out there. Help yourself. Get what you want. Have a seat. I have some cappuccino hot cocoa mix. So I take some cappuccino mix and some hot cocoa mix, mix them together, and I also got my water jug. Oh, is that good? So, last December, well, last month, December 2023, Chowgu finally released the newest knitting needle set, interchangeable. 2022, they had the same set. It was released. How I missed it, I do not know, but I missed it. And they kept saying they would be available in 2023. I kept waiting. I'm subscribed to all of their social medias because I was wanting the release, chomping at the bit for the release. Well, when they did the first release, evidently there was some issues with the smaller, because this is a complete set. There might be a couple of sizes missing, but for the most part, this is the complete set. You should not need any other set, except for those of us that have a certain size knitting needle that we gravitate to, because that's, we have a favorite yarn, whatnot, have not, right? So you've got your favorite needle, whether it be crochet or knitting. It's in this project bag. Well, don't want to take it out of there because I know everything's in there. I can just grab it and go. So you instead of just buying the one that you use the most, oh no, we have to buy a whole new set. I hope I'm not the only one. I know I'm not, but so now it just snows. You know where I'm going with this. It just snowballs. Anyhow, getting off track. So anyhow, there was issues with the smaller needles. So they halted production. They wouldn't release anymore. If you didn't pre-order the first set, you couldn't get them. Plain and simple. So there was a lot of us that wanted them, but we couldn't get them. Didn't even know if they were even going to have them again. This set is not cheap, and as I show it to you, I think you'll understand with the quality, the material they used. It's top notch. So finally, they gave a hint last year that they were working on the issues with the first set, the Forte interchangeable set. So we kept waiting and waiting. And it's like, everybody was bombarding. It's like, okay, when you releasing? When you releasing? Well, in December, well, Chowgu prior to December, they're like, keep an eye on your local yarn shop. Pre-orders will be coming soon. Like, okay, come on, come off it. So anyhow, my local yarn shop, and I'm on their social media too. And it's like the owner posted, hey, we're taking pre-orders for the Chowgu interchangeable special edition set. And to reserve yours, you had to have half the money. You at least had to have half the money up front. And then when you picked your needles up, you had to have the other half. So it's like I sent her a text. It's like, hey, put me down for a set. And it's like, when are you sending these? When you sending the orders in? And she's like, Monday. This was kind of like over the weekend. And she's like, so I'm going to need your down payment before then, or at least by Monday morning. Like, oh man. So, like, okay. So it's like, I want them. I deserve them. So I called the shop, and it's like, okay, I'm calling to pay for my reservation for my needles. And the lady's like, okay, well, you have to have. This wasn't me and the owner know each other. We're friends, but she wasn't there when I called, which is okay, Great shop, great people. But anyhow, she's like, well, you have to have half down. It's like, okay. I said, well, can I just pay for the entirety? I just want to pay for it. I don't want to have to worry about it, because that way, if I had to have somebody, because the way my work schedule is, if I had to have somebody go pick them up, I didn't want to have to worry about it. And she's like, well, let me call her real quick, and we'll find out. So she called her, and she's like, okay, no problem. So I paid for the whole kit and caboodle. And so when she sent her order in, she got confirmation from Chowgu, and they said that the needles would be in her shop sometime in January. Well, I got notice that they were in, and I told her, I said, okay, I'll be in Saturday to pick them up. She's like, well, call before you come because of the weather. Snowing. We had like 9.5 inches of snow. But we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So anyhow, here is my set. So it is a very nice box. It's designed and distributed by Westing Bridge LLC. P.O. Box, Troy, Michigan. Chowgu.com. And if you see up here, I'm going to try and get it close. So you see right there, established 2005. I didn't realize. I thought Chowgu was older than that, to be honest. For some reason, I thought Chowgu was a lot older than 24 years old. 19. 20. I can't even do math. 2005, add 20 would be 2025. So they're 19 years old. Thought they're older than that. So anyhow, so this is a nice sturdy box. I mean, it's not flimsy. This is a really sturdy, very thick cardboard box. That's what it looks like on the inside. And it even has a little C right up here on the box. So, and it's just really, really nice box. Here's a nice little sticker with a C for Chowgu. So, with tax and everything, these were little over $350 for the set. I said I said that it's pricey and it's limited edition, so you know anything with limited edition stamped on it, even a vehicle, you're automatically paying a higher price. You are automatically paying just because they're only making so many and that's it. So once they're done manufacturing these, the only way you'll be able to get them is if somebody's selling their set. But it is a leather case, and it's embossed with Chowgu, and it's also on the back with a smaller symbol. And it has a embossed C, and then underneath it says established 2005. Really nice zipper. I mean, this set is not made cheap. Now, Chowgu is not cheap. It's not a cheap needle set. Chowgu is not cheap. But what you're getting from Chowgu is quality. That's one thing I don't mind paying the money for quality. That when we sit down, we deserve quality, whether it's a yarn or our hooks, our needles, whatever. However much we can afford, we deserve to have that step. It's this, Addie is a manufacturer of knitting needles. They are also a manufacturer of crochet hooks. I am not a fan of their crochet hooks. I love their knitting needles. I have two. I've got two sets of knitting needles from Addie. I have a set of Likey knitting needles. I had 3 sets of Chowgus. This one will make set number 4 of Chowgu. So I'm trying to think. I might have another. I do, because I have a set of cubics, and I have a cubics knitting needle set, and I also have carbons. I have their knitting needle set. This is crazy. Poor Kevin. Oh, I love him to death. He just He just shakes his well, he just shakes his head. It's just, but okay. So you have husbands and wives, you know, some are into knives. They have a really awesome knife collection. Some have guns, ammunition. Some have fishing, hunting, boating. They're if you're into a sport, you're going to have tons of everything. So my dad, he was into fishing and hunting. So we always had boats and we always had all kinds of fishing stuff. He was also into hunting. We had, I don't know how many guns. Um, it's just, it's the same. So our craft is no different than one of our spouses having one of their hobbies. So when you open it up, looky there. This set is not made cheap. So you have a leather. This is leather, not pleather. This is leather. It's a leather tape measure with centimeters and inches. And it has its own little spot. So you're going to have a spot for everything. So now, this is a metal tin. And you open it up, and looky there. You have I just got this. This is first time opening this. But you have a couple of big safety pins. You have your um, aluminum cord tighteners. You also have a nice rubber heart that says Chow Goo. And you have very nice aluminum darning, sewing needle. So that's what underneath the bag. So inside the bag, you have a bunch of little things. So you have, now these are stops. Those are stops. So if you're working on a project and you need your needles, you take your needles out and you put these little stops in. That's what I'm sorry. That's what that's what a normal person does. Not Russ. Russ just goes out and Russ just goes out and buys another set of needles. That's why I'm saying poor Kevin. He just and then these are for the larger size needles because you have two different sizes. So these knitting needles are like our crochet hooks. It goes from the smallest size up to the larger size. So then you have all these little stitch markers. The black colors for the larger needles, which is wonderful for lace, which I love. I love crochet. I love to knit lace. And then you have smaller. These are the smaller ones. And these are metal. These are all metal. I believe they're aluminum, if memory serves me correct. These are aluminum. Everything in here is aluminum. That's the other reason why it's so expensive. So then you have, okay, Sweet Pea, really? Come on, Mama. Come on. You can't, Mama, honey, they can't see me. Thank you. Thank you, honey. That was Sweet Pea, if you all, in case y'all didn't know. So here we have a large, this is to connect two cords together to make a longer cord. So like if you're making a huge sweater or a huge blanket, that's what these connectors are for. And we also have little adapters so that we can go from big to small. And that's what those little adapters are for. Now we put everything in the bag. Okay, everything looks like it. Okay, so now we can close this up and we'll move on. The only thing that I forgot this. The only thing that I'm seeing as of just preliminary is this right here. This is plastic. Now I believe in the original, in the 1 point, or what they're calling 1.0, this was metal. And they downgraded it. For the price that you pay, this should not have been plastic. Should have been metal. That's just my opinion, of course. Now you have a little zipper pocket, and inside, I don't think there's anything in. Well, there's something, but it's nothing. It's just a little oxygen. But there's a little pocket right here in case you wanted to store stuff. And right here is a pair of scissors. And they have the little C stamped in it, which I can see. If you're not careful, you can easily poke your leather. And then let's see what this is. Okay, so this tells you everything that's in here, which I will read when I'm done. So also in here, you have a clip in case you want to clip something. It also has a pen. You got a little notebook right here. And it has another spot next to it in case you want to put another pen, a different kind of pen. But it writes okay. So now we get to our knitting needles. And it's got little magnetic clips. So your needles will clip inside. So we have a size 2, 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10.5, 11, 13, and 15. Now here is the 2. Now a 2, 2 is sock weight. It's the high end of a sock weight because you want, when you do socks, you typically, socks are done between, you got a 1, a 1.5, and a 2. So these are 2. And I don't think you're going to be able to see it. And you can't. But it's embossed with the size. And it's also on, the size is also stamped inside. So that's the knitting needles. Now, here is the cords. So we have a 14-inch, a 22-inch, and a 30-inch cable. And that's what these are. I would almost, and these are really nice cables. They are non-memory. They do not have any memory. So you can, they're very free, and they don't, I mean, I got them wrapped right around, but there's no memory. And they spin. That's one thing I love about ChiaoGoo, is they spin. So when you're knitting, your work isn't being turned because of the cable, because it'll just spin and keep your cable straight. And with these not being, with these being unformed, it makes knitting awesome. So we're just going to wind these back up. Very nice cables. I believe that my other ChiaoGoo cords will work with these. It's just that these cords were made just for this set, and I'm not sure if you can get these cords for this set. Okay, so now here, so these were for the bigger needles. This is for the smaller ones. It's the same concept, same sizes, 14, 22, and 30. That's all I'm seeing. Okay. So there's that. Okay, so I'm thinking that's Forte. Maybe it's not. Maybe it could be something else. But this says, thank you for purchasing our special edition 2.0 interchangeable set. The set includes S-joint, small join tips made with stainless steel ends and carbon fiber shafts. They have smooth joins and the perfect grab, and they're very strong. The large join tips are made of stainless steel and lustrous black wood that is slick for your yarn feed. The case boasts a mature design of function. It includes a double-sided removable needle board that firmly holds tips, elastic that securely holds but gives easy access to accessories, and 4 pockets to hold your knitting supplies. The case open book style with a full zipper enclosure to ensure nothing falls out. Enjoy using the many accessories for your knitting pleasure. And it has 14 pairs of 5-inch tips. And it's the Swivel 360, the next generation cable swivel. Oh, it does say also available for separate purchase in 9 different lengths. So I'll have to look on their site and order me some different cables. Because you all know me by now. I liked, whether I'm gonna use it or not, I want it. Just in case. And that ain't gonna go in there, and we need to zip you up. So that is my beautiful Chowgu Forte set. I'm gonna call it Forte. If you guys know how to pronounce that, or if you can just let me know if I'm saying it right, I think it's Forte. Could be wrong. I could totally be wrong. Now, eventually, I'm not gonna keep doing this every time I use these. But for now, because I'm not gonna knit right yet. Okay. So here's my little box of what's left of my colors. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. My beautiful yarns that I showed you guys in my last video. Oh, the kids. Well, they make me laugh. If I empty out a box, they claim it. Hands down, they're claiming it. Okay, so one of my subscribers asked me, oh, I'm unraveling. All right, so come on, where are you at? Okay, come on. All right. So one of my subscribers had asked if I would. They're like, your blanket's beautiful. Can you hold it up to show us? I'm going to do the best I can, but I think I'm going to need Kevin's help, and we're going to have a longer to be able to get it fully in the camera. But I will. Oh my goodness. Okay, so as you can see, this thing, it's as long as my arm span. There we go. All right. And then it's just, so it's at my neck and it's down to my feet. So I'm definitely going to have to use more than the 160. I'm going to have to use more than 160 because I want it to fit on our twin size bed. I want it to fit on our full size bed, plus have it hang down. Now, let's hope. I was hoping. All right, so, ow, okay. I gotta get centered. Ooh, that would bug me. Okay, so set you over here. I gotta give myself some room. I just have to move some stuff around. And these, I found these, and let me tell you, these little itty bitty clips, oh my gosh, I really like those. They are, you know, when they first come out, it's like, man, I'm not really going to have a use for them. And then it's like, I need a pair. So I just bought some. And I just had plain water in my cup. Come here, Tippy. Come here, honey. Come here. Come here, honey. Come here, Days, babe girl. Okay. Whew. Man, this weekend was short. I don't know if it was just me. Maybe it was you too. But, oh my gosh. To me, it was short. It's like, it was here, and then it was just like, tomorrow's, or actually, today is Sunday, because I'm recording this. It's almost 5:30 in the morning on Sunday. And it's just, oh my gosh. So, um, Friday, going into Friday morning, it started to snow. And it wasn't it wasn't too bad, but it took me, a long time to get home from work. I'm an hour away from work anyhow. So when it snows in bad weather, I have to go the long way around to take main highways to get home. And people just were driving crazy. And so I get home, I unwind, I go to bed, get up Friday, and it had snowed a little bit more while I was sleeping. Kevin comes home and he goes out to do the chores to take care of the outside animals. And he's like, I'm going to, plow the drive. Okay. And it's like, well, what do you want for supper? He's like, oh, I don't know. And so it's like, okay. I said, well, how about if I fix, we can have corned beef hash, eggs, and toast for supper. He's like, okay, it sounds good. So while he was out doing that, I was fixing dinner. Then when he come in, we got to eat, and he was gonna fix the toast, and it's like, okay. And he says, well, he says, how many pieces of toast do you want? I said, just fix me, 2 slices. And I says, well, wait a minute. I said, we've got Texas toast in the freezer. because I like Texas toast. And he goes, oh yeah. He's like, will it be okay to toast being frozen? I said, yeah, it'll be all right. So he went and grabbed a loaf. We have 2 loaves in there, but he pulled one out and he toasted it up for us, and we ate. And it's like we both said, it's like, man, that really hit the spot. And then he went off to bed, and then I I had work to do. Didn't get nearly done what I wanted, but I was able to get the video done for you guys. And so Saturday he had work this morning, and then he went grocery shopping for us, but he also takes his mom. So his dad took his mom. When it was time for him to get out of work, he dropped his mom off so they could go grocery shopping together. And then afterwards, Kevin just take her home. So he had bought, it was buy 2, get 3 free sale at the grocery store that we shop at. We shop at, it's called Harding's Market, Harding's Friendly Market, or something like that. It's a local grocery store. They have like 15 grocery stores or something like that. But it's just local, it's just a little local shop. And we've been shopping there for years. Kevin's mom's been shopping there since Kevin was a boy. And so one of the items that they had is chicken breast. So you bought 2 packages of boneless, skinless chicken breast, and you got 3 packages free. Well, you have to pay for the 2 higher ones, and then you got the other 3 of lesser price for free, which is okay. And so I told him, I said, I'm going to cook all of the chicken breast, all 5 packages, and I'm going to use some for our supper. And the other, I'm going to shred and vacuum seal into 2-pound packages and put it in the freezer. Takes up less space that way. And with it being already cooked, it makes a really good, healthy start or a prep. Or we can, I'm sorry, yarn fiber. So it makes it quick. So we can pull it out, thaw it out, and we can stir it into some macaroni and cheese, or we can put, we got chicken broth on the shelf. So we can make a quick chicken soup, chicken vegetable soup. I'll get it out. So it's just, with it already being cooked, it's like the possibilities are endless. And it's so much quicker to do something and have it be healthy, you know. Just trying, just trying different things. Stuff that don't break the bank, but yet healthy and quick. But yeah. So today I fixed. We have an Instapot, and I've got the big 10-quart, and then we have the regular 8-quart, and I use the 10-quart frozen. Now these were frozen chicken breasts, and I like to use the Instant Pot when the meat is frozen, more so than thawed out, because when you cook it, it doesn't overcook it because it has to thaw the meat out, then it has to cook. Well, by the time it thaws it all out, you're only cooking it for about the right time, but the chicken was juicy, it was tender, and it just shredded apart. But I made chicken noodle soup. So I took a few breasts, shredded it up, and then I boiled some noodles. We had the Radiacore noodles by Cremette. Oh, come on. So I used, um, I took the chicken out and put the Instant Pot on saute to boil the noodles. And then I scooped out some noodles because there was too many. But we'll get to that in a second. And then I added um, some cornstarch thickener to my noodles. Thicken it up a little bit. Okay, I just want to get these little bits and pieces so they don't go on the floor. Use some cornstarch thickener, stirred it in, then added my chicken, and oh my gosh, that was so good. Oh, and I made buttermilk biscuits to go with it. It was such a good supper, and we've got enough left over for Sunday's dinner, and I should have enough to take to work with. But so I boiled 2 pounds of noodles, and I took probably a pound of them out, and I used chicken broth to cook the noodles. So they had such good flavor. I could heat them up and eat them just like that. They were so flavorful. Um, I added a little bit of salt and some garlic powder, but they were so good. So anyhow, the leftover noodles that's already cooked, I put them in a Ziploc bag, put them in the refrigerator, because now all I have to do is make a cheese sauce, stir in the already cooked macaroni, and you got macaroni and cheese. Pull out some um, of the shredded chicken out of the freezer. And we also have, I buy pulled pork. A guy that used to work with us started his own barbecue place. So I can buy, I still can buy my pulled pork from him. And which I've been buying pulled pork from him for years because he started it back in 2010, I think. Um, and during his, he had made a post thinking, letting everybody know this would probably be his last cook for the season. So if anybody wanted something, to let him know. And so I messaged him and it's like, hey, do you got room to make me 30 pounds of pulled pork? 36 pounds of pulled pork. He goes, yeah, I can throw that on for you. Like, okay. So he told me the price and I sent it over to him. But so we got, there's no sauce. He don't, if you want sauce, he would sauce it, but I don't have him sauce ours. I just have him, he does it really nice because he puts it in 2 pound um, vacuum seals it and he freezes it for me. So when I go to pick it up, it's already he pulls it out of the freezer. It's already in 2 pound packages. We can just throw it in the microwave, thaw it out, and we can either add barbecue to it to have barbecued pulled pork. We can stir it into macaroni and cheese. We can eat it plain with, you can, you after you heat it up, you can put some toast, put it over some toast and then put some gravy over the top. It's just so versatile. And that's what I do with the chicken too, because you can do the same thing with the cooked chicken. Just pull it out, thaw it out, heat it up, put it over some toast, throw some chicken gravy. Oh, instant mashed potato. There's just quick foods. Quick foods. Honey, come here. Come here, sweetie. Daddy, come here. Come here. Oh my God. Oh, sweetums. Okay, here she is, the CEO. Say hi, everybody. Say hi. Say, I'm Tippy. I'm the CEO of my dad's channel. She'll just melt right into me. She just laid her head down. And Daddy loves you. Oh my goodness, Daddy loves you. Where's Rudy? Hmm? Where's Rudy, sweetie? Hmm? What's wrong, baby? Hmm? What's wrong? Tell him hi. Say hi. I'm Tippy. We got a bunch of new followers, honey. We have to show them who you are and tell them who you are. Say you're the CEO of Dad's channel. Yeah. You don't got to go anywhere, honey. Hmm. Hmm. Love them kids to death. Oh, hi, Junior. Hi, baby boy. Hmm. She's like, nope, I'm out of here. So it just, I'm just trying to think of something that's nutritious quick. I don't have any small kids anymore. So it's like, but if I had small kids, you could, the chicken's already done, the pulled pork's already done. Heat up some vegetables, especially if they have like soccer, football, baseball, hockey, gymnastics, ballet, you know, so many sports that the kids can be in nowadays. Band, piano, and parents are just limited on time. So a lot of times, and I'm the same way, it's like I don't have time to fix something. I was running late at the office, or I got stuck in traffic, and a million things can happen. But if you can have some stuff, especially if it's already cooked, you can let if the um, if your child is of age, it's like, hey, pull this out of the freezer and defrost it, and it's done. All right, I'll get off that soapbox. I'm sorry. Sometimes I just get going, and I just talk, 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 talk. Just like talk, 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 talk. Oop, come on. It's crochet, Russ. Not do what you want. Oh. Okay, so I do have a lot of new followers. I really do. And I love it. And I get asked a lot of this I get asked a lot of the same questions. And they're like, I'm a new subscriber. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. That's what I'm here for. You know, my channel's a little different than others. I'm not I try and answer everybody, especially if they have a question. And I'm not nasty about it. But so, how this blanket come about? Last year, excuse me. So last year, I've been wanting to do a scrap gan for a long, long time. I don't ever have. I'm not fast. I don't knit fast. I don't crochet fast. I know how to do it. I know what to do, but I'm not fast. I can't crank a blanket out in a day. Some of these people are just fabulous, and they just crank and crank and crank. They can do like 4 or 5 hats in a day. The lady at the yarn shop, she can knit a pair of socks in like a day and a half, 2 days, two full socks, a full pair in like 2 days, sometimes less. I mean, she just, I can't do that. I wish I could, but I can't. So I don't have enough ends or partials left to make a blanket. But I wanted one because they are so pretty. And it's like, man, what do I do? A YouTube subscriber had told me about Aberdeen wolves, and they have these minis. And they have these, it's called Pickle Jar. And it's like, okay. So I went on their site. Now, it's not cheap, okay? I know that. And I've already talked about this, but I have a lot of new subscribers, so I'm talking about it again. And I'll keep talking about it as long as people keep asking. I'm not going to tell somebody, oh, well, I already made a video on that. Find it in the playlist. I don't do that. So anyhow, I went to Aberdeen Wool and I was looking. It's like, man, I really like that pickle jar. And it's like, but I don't want to buy um, 4 pickle jars because the pickle jars, and it actually is a one of those big pickle jars. I mean, not the great big huge ones, but it's a big jar of where you get the big pickle. I mean, the big pickles, but it's got either a knit needle in it or the knitting needles or the crochet hook because they have 2 different versions. Anyway, they used to. Um, and 40 minis. Okay. So here's the mini. That's a mini. They had 40 of these in the jar, plus the pattern. And, Canadian money and American money, um, two different values. So it's like, man, I really didn't, really didn't want to buy 4 jars because I knew I was going to need around at least 200 minis. So it's like, man, I guess if I have to, I'll just, buy one. And when I get that used up, I'll order another one. But I don't like doing that. When I start a project, I want to know I have all the yarn I need. So I got looking, and it's like, they sell these separate. Like, okay, hey, it's called a refill pack. So I started looking at the refill packs, and it's like, okay, it's cheaper because you're not buying the jar, you're not buying the pattern, you're not buying the knitting needle or the crochet hook. You're just buying the hand-dyed sock yarn. So it's like, it's a win-win. So I ordered 3 refill packs, which is 120. Plus I got 40 in the pickle jar, so that's my 160. It's like, I'll start there. And I got it, and it's like, these are small enough because they're only about between 20 and 24 yards. It's like, they're small enough by scrap blanket. I can make a scrappy blanket out of it. So hence, my blanket was born. So when they got them, I was excited. I did a vid. There is a video on it when I got my yarn. And so that's how this blanket got started. And I wanted it finished before Christmas, but a lot had happened last year, which it's all in my video. I'm not going to bring it up. I'm just going to, this part this part I won't talk about, but I was gone for several months. So anyhow, I love the yarn. Everybody, well, I shouldn't say everybody. my YouTube family, they're like, oh my gosh, that's just turning out gorgeous. I did not expect it to come out this beautiful, this stunning. I did not, because I I put everything, for those that are new. Okay, so I'm going to put this one back because I don't want to get it mixed up, because I'm trying to see how many mini hanks it takes me. And when I get this box, when I get those, what's left done, that's 160. But, so, this jar's mine. I got it off Amazon, and they still have them. It's in the shape of a jar, but I put all of my 160 in here. I turn my head and I'd reach in and I would pull out one at a time. Because when I started it, it's like I'm just going to do, one at a time. So what's in here now is my Aberdeen's Advent calendar yarn. So anyhow, every week I'd pull one out, and then it got to where I could do two. So I started doing two, and that's where it kind of. So my videos consisted of me pulling out two and trying to get the two done in one episode. And I was hurrying because, I'm new to YouTube. I know I've got almost 2,000 subscribers. I'm just like 26 away, I think, from having 2,000. But this is my second full year. So in August, will be my 2 years. So YouTube was all new to me. I was trying to keep up with everybody, and I work 60 hours a week. I've got things that get neglected around the house that I should be doing, and trying to go visit family because they're 3 hours away. So trying to spend weekends with them, and just trying to balance everything. It got to be too much. So when I had tragedy happen. That's as far as I'm going with that. If you want to know what the tragedy is, you're going to have to go back to some videos of early last year. Okay, so I was gone several months, and then when I come back, it's like, okay, I can't keep this up, because there would be times I'm doing a video and I'm so tired, I'm yawning, and it wasn't fair to you, and it wasn't fair to me. I was hurrying because I was trying to keep up with YouTube, because the algorithm, um, you're supposed to keep an eye on your view times. So my viewers viewing my videos is only like 12 minutes. Average is 12 minutes. So they were wanting me to only make like a 15-minute video, and it's like I'm trying to hurry up, and it was just like I said, like I said, Russ was new to the YouTube. And I do now, don't get me wrong, I was behind the scenes in YouTube because I followed a lot of channels. I was well known on a lot of channels. And I lurked, I would show up on, I wouldn't come up on their lives, but I'd be in their chats and, stuff like that for support. And well, I got a channel. And now someone had made a comment about my earlier video, something about I wasn't going to put ads on my videos and blah blah blah. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit. When we're sitting here talking, I say a lot of stuff that's going through my mind, like a friend. They're just ideas of, it's like bouncing ideas off people. And so I talk a lot of ideas, but it doesn't mean that they're going to happen or they're set in stone. And so, anyhow, keep that in mind. So, when I'm sitting here and it's like, okay, well, I'm shooting for $125 on my Christmas in July box. Well, when it comes time to actually air them on for sale, it might be 150. Like I said, this is all new to me. So when I want my channel free for everybody. When I started I should have known better because, like I said, I was, in behind the scenes, but I didn't really talk to people about money. It's none of my business. None of my business how much they make off YouTube and um, stuff like that. It's none of my business. I just, knew what they were doing and, you know, stuff like that. But I never got really into how much people made. That's just being rude and nosy. So, anyhow, they have what is called memberships. So, I think I was getting the two mixed up. I want my channel free for everybody. I'm not going to put content out for the people that have memberships. Memberships is a monthly subscription that you pay YouTube. I get like 50% of it, 55%. I don't remember what the breakdown is. So if you paid $5, you got this. I set the prices. I can make the first tier $15. I can make the second tier $30. I can make the third tier, whatever I want. I can make these memberships. But I love everybody. And I'm trying to keep my channel for everybody to access. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care if you don't have. I don't care. What I care about is you. And if you shouldn't have to pay me to listen to me. You shouldn't have to pay me to get something. So I have ads on my channel to get ad revenue, which you don't get. You don't. It's like 100 views, you get like 3 cents. So it's gonna. It takes a lot, and you have to have $100 in ad revenue before YouTube releases it. So if I happen to make $100 by the 22nd, either the 22nd, 27th of January, I don't see that money until the end of February. So it might take me several months to get $100 from YouTube. And I'm not complaining. Please don't think I'm complaining, because I'm not. I'm just trying to explain my point of view and where I'm coming from. So, and yarn's expensive. I don't care if you're buying the cheapest cheap yarn that you can get. It's still a lot of money. Um, and if there's ever something you want to see, so if there's a yarn, if there's a new yarn that comes out and you want to see it, or you want to know about it, you want more information on it, let me know. Send me an email. My email's in the description box. So, or if there's something that you want me to try, um, email me or leave it in the comments. Hey, such and such has a new yarn. Would you mind doing a review on it? I'll do it. Come on, honey. Come on, sweetie. I'll do a review on it for you. You will get my honest opinion, because I'm buying it with my own money. I'm not asking a company to send me money or to send me yarn. If a company wants to send me something, I'm still giving an honest review. I'm not going to say, "Oh, this is great stuff," when it's not, because I won't do that. Where are you going, honey? Come on. What are you trying to come over here? She's purring. She's purring. She wants her daddy. Come on. All right. Daddy's got you. We gotta tuck our tail. Yeah, we gotta tuck our tail so no one comes and gets it. So, you know, everything that I do, I buy. So the little bit of ad money that I get now and then, it just goes for the channel. I bought this because people were having a hard time hearing me. Okay? Then they're having trouble with the lighting. It's like, you got to have, you need a ring light. So I went out and I bought a ring light. Then it's like, okay, well, that's great, but it was too hard to maneuver. So now it basically just sits in the living room for when I do a tutorial. But I bought another light. As you can see, it's a lot brighter. Um, And yarn. Yeah, I buy a lot of yarn. What I make off YouTube doesn't cover my yarn bill. The knitting needles that I just bought, it'll take me all year of money from YouTube to even pay for them. But please don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you facts. When you come to my channel, you're getting facts of what I know right at that moment. It might be wrong. A viewer might come back, hey, Russ, that was wrong. This is what it really is. And I will thank the person who corrected me. And then in my next video, I'm going to tell you, hey, look, this is what I said, but that was wrong. This is the correct. I'm not afraid to say, hey, that wasn't true. I'm not afraid to say that. But just remember, at the time I say something, that's what I know to be true. But if it's not true and somebody corrects me, I'm not going to say that I messed up, because I'm going to say I messed up. Because you guys deserve that. You guys deserve honesty and trust. And that's what you're going to get with Russ. And I know that I'm not going to have tens of thousands of subscribers. I realize that. I don't do tutorials. I don't do fancy things. I don't do very many whips or faux, which is, whips are works in progress and faux are finished objects. It takes me a long time because of my work schedule. But I do what I can, and I'm honest about it. I'm not begging anybody for money. If people want to donate to my channel, there's different ways you can. I've got a PayPal associated with the channel where you can donate money. You can donate on my videos. Several people have put money on my videos, and that means that means a lot. But you just watching and letting the ads play, that means a lot to me. And that's why I answer, or at least let you know I read your comment, because I'll give the thumbs up and I'll give the little heart. Or I'll give the thumbs up, leave the heart, and leave a comment. Because you guys deserve that. As the channel grows, which I hope it does, it's grown, and that's heartwarming to me. And someone had mentioned, I don't remember who it was, they're like, it's like you're like a soap opera. And it wasn't said in a mean, nasty way. It was funny, and I kind of chuckled, and it's like, hey, they're right. So maybe one of these videos that I'll open up and I'll be like, hey, welcome to As Russ Turns, or something quirky. But it just goes to show that I do read the comments. It's just like showing the blanket, at the beginning of the video, because I have a lot of new subscribers and they're interested in, hey, show us your blanket. And it's like, okay, my next video, I'll see what I can do. And So I showed it. I showed it to the best of my ability. And I hope it was enough where you guys could see it. And I had so many new people talk about, hey, that's beautiful yarn. Um, is it just, small leftovers or a certain yarn? So I answered them. And that's why I was talking about. So as you can see, I was talking about earlier. Tippy, I'm sorry, guys. She wants her love. She wants her loving from daddy. So I got to show her some love. She's my baby girl. And of course, she is the CEO. She gets her way. Is that right, honey? Daddy's baby girl. Daddy's baby girl. Dad loves you. So, and, I get it. I find new channels all the time on YouTube. And, well, they might have 400, even 1,000 videos. You can't go back and watch them all. I mean, slowly but surely you can chip away at it, but are you really ever going to be able to watch them all? Probably not. So you're trying to catch up the best you can. So I don't mind the question. I know there's some YouTubes that people ask a question and it gets ignored. There's some YouTube channels that has an earlier video, they won't even comment. And they tell you in their video, it's like, hey, if it's like over a couple of months old and you ask a question, I'm not going to answer it. Some puts, hey, I'm only going to answer questions for a couple of weeks, and that's it. After that, I'm not answering no questions. I don't want to be like that. I wanted my channel not to be a cookie cutter. And because you guys deserve more than a cookie cutter. That's why I bought numerous countdown boxes, and it's like, they're okay, but you pay a lot of money. Um, yeah, it's everyone wants this hand dyed yarn and blah, 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 blah. But they only go through December 1st through the 25th. It's like every year when I do a countdown box, this is before I had the channel. It's like, okay, Christmas is come and gone. Well, what about the 26th through January 1st? It's like nobody does it. So when I started my channel, I, kicked it around a little bit. And the first year, last Christmas or last December, this last month, December of 2023, I did my first countdown box. And I didn't charge enough for it, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. It's a learning curve. Like I said, YouTube was all new to me. Um, I didn't lose money. I made some money, but not it wasn't enough for all the work that went into them. It paid for the materials that went in the box. And we did have, like I said, I did make a little bit of money. Not tons. Some of these other people that have countdown or advent boxes, they make the money because you're getting basically yarn and a couple of gifts. Aberdeen wool. I love their advent box. And I love Aberdeen's customer service more than I love their box. Aberdeen's customer service is top notch. With everything going on at the beginning of last year, I missed the deadline to pre-order advent calendar boxes. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have any advent. I was telling Kevin, it's like, man, I'm not going to have any advent boxes for the channel this year. The first year I had my channel, I had one advent box, and that was Cambridge Fibres. That box was amazing. Well, anyhow, he's like, hun, he's like, you did the best you could. That's all anybody can ask. I says, yeah, I know, but I feel so bad because my channel, the followers deserve a lot because without followers, you don't have a channel. Well, he's like, but you did the best you could. He's like, that's all you can do. And he's right. We do what we do, and that's all we can do. Plain and simple. So it's like, okay. And he's like, honey, why don't you email the ones that you would like a box and see if you can somehow buy one. You want your she loves her toes and feet rubbed. She just loves it. Don't you, honey? So every now and then she'll throw her. So anyhow, so it's like, okay, the most they can tell me is no, right? That's the most that anybody can say is no. We can't do it. The deadline's closed. Like, okay. So I emailed Cambridge Fibres, and well, actually, I didn't email her. I sent her a message, and it's like, hey, this is what happened. I missed the, deadline. Is there any way I can be put on the list to get one? And she's like, this is Cambridge Fibres, another top-notch customer service. And she's like, you messaged at the right time, because she says we're getting ready to actually put them together. And she's like, would you like one? And I said, I would love one. And she's like, okay, we'll put you down. And I said, okay. And I think a couple weeks went by, and it's like, I need to get a hold of her so I can pay her, I need to pay her for this box. Because when you pre-order, you're supposed to, either give part down or pay for it all. And I didn't do either. So it's like, hey, I said, I am so sorry. With work and everything, is it okay if I pay? She's like, oh, sure. She's like, whenever you're ready. I fell asleep because, her shop don't open up until like 9 o'clock in Canada. I think it's 10 o'clock our time. I fell asleep. And it was like another 2 weeks before, I could get some money to her. It's not that I didn't have the money, it's just working, Get home and it's like, man, you're just dead dog tired. All right, there you go, honey. Lay your head down. There you go, sweetie. So I called her and I says, I actually called and she didn't answer. So it's like, okay. So I sent her a message and it's like, hey, I tried to call to pay you and I really want to, pay you for the spots. And she had called me and it's like, I missed her call, I think. I called her back. It was like phone tag. And she's like, well, we we don't get into the shop until like 9 o'clock and blah, blah, blah. So anyhow, I paid her. I got her paid. And then uh, Aberdeen wool. It's like, I missed your deadline. Is there any way I can get a box? And she's like, um, yep. She's like, we always make a few extra for those that miss the deadline. And I says, put me down for one. I didn't tell, she has two different kinds. She has a knit one and a crochet one. I didn't, I didn't even tell her what one I wanted, but she watched my channel, and I've got a bunch of. She sent me a bunch of gifts. Um. So anyhow, I never told her what one to send. She never told me what one she was sending, and she had sent me a message, and she's like, okay. She's like, I put the um, link in the message so you can go in and pay for your box. Okay, no problem. So I click on the link to go pay, and it won't let me pay. And it's like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I sent her an email and I told her, I said, it's not letting me pay. And she's like, okay. She's like, let me figure it out and I'll get back to you. So she sent me another link and I was at work and I don't use my phone for any kind of payment. And so it's like, okay. So when I got home, I got onto my iPad and went to try and pay her. Well, it worked. But um, while I was, after I paid that, I was kind of poking around her site and I saw this gorgeous yarn. Gorgeous. Because they hand dye yarn. And I there's a video of the yarn. I don't have it near me, or else I'll show you. But hand dyed yarn. And it's like, oh my gosh, I love that color. I wanted 4, at least 4. There was 1 or 2. That's all that they had. So anyhow, I put that in my cart to pay for it. I think it was 2. And I paid, put it in my shopping cart, paid for it, and that was that, because it was a special color that was dyed for, I think it was September. Just a beautiful color. And so after I paid for it, I sent her a message. It's like, you had this beautiful yarn for September, but you only had like a couple, and I really wanted 4. And she says, yeah, she says, I think it's her daughter. I could be wrong. But I think it's her daughter-in-law, maybe. I don't really know. I don't know these people personally, but we're friends enough where we can conversate. And I told her, I says, man, I really wanted 4, but you only had 2. So I took the 2. And she says, well, you're in luck, because she gave the lady's name. She says she's setting up her dye table this morning. She says, I can ask her if she can recreate that. And it's like, oh man, would you? I would really like 2 more. So she come back and she's like, not a problem. We're gonna dye that up for you this morning. So they got it dyed, dried, whole 9 yards. And she's like, okay. She's like, here's the link to go pay for it. Just pay for the 2. It's like, okay, no problem. The link wouldn't work. So she had to send me another one. She fixed it, sent me another one. And lo and behold, uh, they were so nice. They sent me 4 out of the same dye lot, out of the same dye pot. How awesome of customer service is that? That is top-notch customer service from both Cambridge Fibres from Canada and Aberdeen Wools from Canada. And oh my gosh. So that took care of that. She is out. This girl is out. She's not even purring. She is just like totally out, laying on my blanket. I would really like to crochet as I'm talking. Yeah, she ain't have none of it. She not have none of it. I guess that's what you can do when you're CEO. You do what you want, when you want, how you want it, and it doesn't matter. Daddy loves you. Oh my gosh, Daddy loves you. So, anyhow, so for my countdown box, that's how my countdown box was born, because it's not an advent calendar, which goes from December 1st through December 25th. Mine's a countdown box. Mine goes from December 1st through January 1st. And you have yarn every day. Every day you open up yarn, except on New Year's. New Year's is a special gift. New Year's is a special gift. But 31 days of nothing but yarn. Then on top of that, you also get like 15 days of gifts. So it's like you get to open up yarn every day, but then like every other day, you got to open up a gift. And people loved my Advent boxes. Excuse me, countdown box. And they're like, hey, if Russ is doing them again next year, I'm on it. So for this year's countdown box, it's going to be a lot more yarn, a lot more gifts, And I think I'm going to omit some of the candy and food. I'm not sure. Like I said, when I'm talking, don't take it as gospel until it actually happens, because I'm just bouncing it off. I do this to get the reaction. It's like, hey, I would rather have 20 people tell me that's a good price, or um, that's a bit salty. Maybe you need to scale your countdown box back a little to drop the price. So, this year's countdown box, if I leave it to what I'm thinking, is going to be $275 plus shipping. And it will be through Etsy, and it will be hand-dyed minis. And I've already let Aberdeen Wolves know that here in probably sometime in February, I will be ordering 3,000 minis. So I let them know. And they typically, what she did for me last year, she did mine separate from everybody else's. So that way my minis was kind of like made for my countdown box, which I thought was really, really neat and very, very kind. So yeah, that. But so you guys let me know, because I have plenty of time to change. So do you think 275 is too high? And should I scale back? I know everyone says, make a community tab, put up a poll, blah, blah, blah. I can do that, but not many people use the community tab. Not many people use the community tab. So I'm asking here. So do you think $275 for the countdown box, 30 days of yarn, plus a bunch of gifts, plus a special gift for January 1st, and um, it's all related to Christmas, and it's a really fun box. But I just need honest opinions, because there's no sense of me making 30 countdown boxes at $275 that nobody's going to buy. I'd rather have, hey Russ, man, that's too much, scale it back. And, I can scale it back. But the countdown box, I try not to. I like the quality. I want quality items. And that's what's pushing the price of the box. Quality. I don't want simple junk. I don't want to throw just anything in these boxes. My boxes are well thought of. A lot of thought goes into them. And I try to maintain the highest quality, plus keep the price low. And you know, I would like a little bit of money for putting these boxes together. And, I'm not saying I want double. I'm not putting $20 in a box and charging $200. I'm not doing that. But I would like, to be able to have a good product for a good price. Some people think that I'm crazy for asking. Tippy, can Daddy crochet? Honey, can Daddy crochet? Come on, let Daddy crochet. I know you're sleeping. I know, baby. I know. Daddy took you from your warm spot. But Daddy would like to crochet as he talks. Can Daddy crochet while he talks, please? Hmm? I think Daddy's getting out of bed. Go find Daddy. I think Daddy's getting out of bed. Go find Daddy. She'll go up there and start licking his face. But anyhow. So, yeah, some people think I'm crazy for asking. And they're just like, well, just do it. No, I don't want to just do it because, like I said, I don't want to put 30 boxes together and come December 1st still have 30 boxes because that defeats the purpose. But I want to give you guys quality items and a fun box to unwrap. But that's that. I don't know how many videos I'm going to have this week. I'll try to have one in a couple of days. I probably won't have another video until Wednesday, sometime Wednesday. But I'm not going to say what time Wednesday. It's just sometime Wednesday. I'll try and have another video up. I might get one out sooner than Wednesday, but I don't want to say Monday or Tuesday and not be able to get one done until Wednesday. So we're just going to shoot for Wednesday. This year's Advent, I get so confused. The countdown boxes this year. Last year, I did offer kind of like an acrylic version, non-Christmas, because there's people that didn't want wool yarn, didn't want Christmas, and I respect that. And I was trying to please everybody, but the acrylic didn't come out. I didn't announce the acrylic until really, really late. So I only sold like a couple. I'm not doing that this year. It's too much. But then again, you never, like I said, don't take me at gospel, because after I get the countdown boxes all done and take a breather, and I still have time, I might put a few acrylics together. Don't hold me to that. Don't email me and say, hey, you said that you were going to have acrylic. Don't hold me to that. I'm just, like I'm saying, I'm just talking. And if I can, I'll see what I can do. But no promises on acrylic. Not this year. Now, next year, 2025, I'm thinking about halvesies, doing like 10 of the hand-dyed yarns, or 15 of the hand-dyed yarns, and doing 15 acrylic. But that's 2025. If I can still do them, and that's if I can still do the countdown boxes. Because I don't know, 2025 is a long way away. I would love to do them in 2025. I plan on doing them in 2025, but we'll just have to wait and see. We got to get through 2020. We got to get through 2024 first. And I've even been floating the idea. Now, like I said, when I talk to you guys, it's not, don't quote me as gospel. I'm just talking to you as a friend. These are my ideas. I'm just, let me know what you guys think, because what I might think is a good idea or a good price, your guys are like, well, wait a minute, that's too high. You guys might come back and say, hey, you might want to rethink that price. That's a little low. So I appreciate your guys' input, because you guys are the ones that's buying. I can't. It's like a new car. What's the sense of me having Jaguars, BMWs, Mercedes, luxury cars on my lot, when people in the area can only afford to buy a not so high end of a car? Your dealership's going to go under. So I'd rather run stuff by you guys. Give me your thoughts and opinion. But getting back to what I was getting ready to say, I would love to put kits together, starter kits, crochet hooks and all the accessories you need to start out. So you can buy a kit, you have all the stuff that you need to start, because there's plenty of tutorials on YouTube. It's just a lot of people don't know what to buy. Same with knitting. I thought about, buying some um, knitting things and making a starter box, and, put yarn in it to get them in the right direction. But like I said, I'm just bouncing ideas. If you guys think that's a good idea for me to do, then let me know, because I've already got boxes, because I order them from a company. I order my boxes from a company, so I have boxes. But do you guys think that that's a good idea for me to sell? I have to get a couple more. So there's one. Up, another green. Okay, so them are our two colors. So we'll close our box back up. And I can even put starter books for a crochet. The crochet kits, I could have a beginner crochet book for dishcloths. Knitting, I could do dishcloths for knitting, because when you learn, if you're learning a new stitch, or if you're learning how to do something, cotton, a bamboo, a linen, or a bamboo linen, a cotton linen, a cotton bamboo, you need something for a dish rag. So if you're learning a new stitch, find some cotton, bamboo, or some linen. And if you're practicing a new stitch, make yourself a dishcloth, because it's small enough but big enough. So it's big enough to get the repeats. And if you make a mistake, who cares? Because you can still use it in the sink for your dishes. Doesn't matter what it looks like. It's a dish rag, or a cleaning rag, a dusting rag. So that's what I try and get across to people that's just starting out. Don't get the fancy fuzzy ribbon yarn, don't use ribbon yarn, don't use the faux fur, don't use don't use thread. I know there's people out there, oh, I didn't have any problem learning off that. Great. But my recommendation is stay away from the fancy yarns when you're learning. That's just my 2 cents. But it's just something that I was kicking around. I have been on here over 2 hours. I've been talking to you guys for 2 hours. I didn't dream of talking to you guys that long. I didn't really want this video to go that long, but it's been a little bit since I've talked to you. But Russ loves you. And we're going to end this video. And I'm going to try. Don't hold me to it, but I'm going to try and have another video around Wednesday. Anyhow, I love you. I'll see you in my next video, okay? Bye.